What if the secret to being respected, desired, and impossible to replace wasn't chasing people, but mastering yourself? What if instead of begging for attention, you became so disciplined, so grounded, so valuable that losing you felt like losing a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? Most people try to be needed. Stoics focused on being valuable, and there's a difference. When you depend on others for validation, you become replaceable. When you build inner strength and character, you become unforgettable. Today, I'll share 7 Stoic ways to become so valuable they'll regret losing you. Not through manipulation, not through ego, but through self-mastery. Let's begin. 1. Detach from the need for approval. Moment you stop seeking validation, you become powerful. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus taught that you cannot control what others think about you. So why build your identity around their opinions? When you constantly try to please, you over-explain. You tolerate disrespect. You shrink yourself to fit others. Valuable people don't beg to be understood. They act according to their principles calmly and confidently. When someone senses that your self-worth doesn't depend on them, they respect you differently. Detach from approval. Approval is cheap. Character is rare. 2. Master emotional control. Nothing makes a person more valuable than emotional stability. When you overreact, chase, argue impulsively, or explode in anger, you lose leverage. But when you stay calm, you become unshakable. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily that other people's actions are outside his control, but his reactions were not. Imagine being the person who doesn't panic under pressure, doesn't crumble during conflict, doesn't lash out when triggered. Control creates mystery, strength, and security. People regret losing the one who never lost control of themselves. 3. Build quiet competence stock. Less. Improve more. One of the core Stoic virtues is excellence through action, not noise. Instead of telling people who you are, improve your skills, health, discipline, knowledge, financial stability. You focus on self-improvement instead of proving yourself. Your value compounds. Seneca believed that self-development was a lifelong duty. Competence makes you an asset, and assets are never easily discarded. 4. Become comfortable walking away. Desperation lowers value. Detachment increases it. If you stay where you're disrespected, if you tolerate the bare minimum, if you fear being alone, you communicate weakness. Stoicism teaches acceptance of loss. Nothing external is guaranteed. Not relationships, not status, not possessions. When you truly understand this, you stop clinging. You choose connection, but you don't depend on it. The person who can walk away calmly is the one people fear losing most. Because strength is attractive, neediness is not. 5. Speak less. Observe. More valuable people don't they listen. They observe. They understand dynamics. When you talk too much, you reveal insecurity. When you observe, you gain insight. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason." When you become the calm observer, you understand people's motivations. You detect red flags early. You respond strategically, not emotionally. Mystery increases perceived value, and silence often speaks louder than words. 6. Live by unshakable standards. If your standards change depending on who you're dealing with, you lose respect. Valuable people have principles. They don't accept disrespect, betray their morals, compromise their integrity for attention. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself to act with virtue, regardless of others' behavior. When people know you stand firm in your values, they treat you carefully because they know you won't tolerate less. Standards create boundaries. Boundaries create respect, and respect creates regret when you're gone. 7. Focus on becoming, not impressing. Most people perform. Stoics transform. There's a difference between looking valuable and being valuable. One seeks attention, the other builds substance. Instead of trying to show success on social media, work on real progress. Instead of trying to look confident, develop discipline. Instead of trying to appear strong, train your mind. When you focus on becoming better every day, you radiate quiet power. And here's the truth. When someone loses a person who is constantly evolving, constantly improving, constantly elevating, they feel it. Because growth is magnetic, the deeper truth. But here is something even more important. This mindset, IS&T, about making others regret losing you. It's about reaching a point where you don't need them to. True Stoic value comes from internal fulfillment. When you respect yourself, improve consistently, control your emotions, maintain standards, detach from outcomes, who win, regardless of who stays or leaves. And ironically, that's when people realize your worth. Not when you chase, not when you beg, not when you overextend yourself, but when you stand firm in who you are. Powerful closing. Imagine becoming someone who doesn't fear abandonment, doesn't react impulsively, doesn't depend on validation, doesn't lose themselves in relationships. Imagine being so disciplined, so grounded, so that your presence feels rare. That's Stoic value. Not arrogance, not ego, not manipulation, self-mastery. And here's the final truth. If someone walks away from a person who is calm, disciplined, principled, and constantly growing, they may not realize it immediately. But one day they will. So don't focus on making them regret losing you. Focus on becoming the kind of person who is naturally hard to lose. Because at the end of the day, the greatest power you can have is not being needed. It's being chosen. And you are chosen when you first choose yourself.